Will, what happened with you?
So, I mean, I found that after the program, like, I became more comfortable with myself as a person. You know, I wasn't, it was similar to Adam and David's experience as well. Like, I was less, less stressed. I was much more confident. I was more willing to, like, study what I wanted to study, just in general, like, and I became interested, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, my marks, went up, right? I became an A student. I got into the programs I wanted at university. And, it's just stuff like that, right? I became more confident. I think I've become more social as well. And just overall, like a better self-perception,
Sure. Okay, so I want to hit on this because I feel like you glanced over it like it's some minor detail, but you were, like you said, you were kind of that like mid-range student not being where you wanted to be, and you were having a tough time. And what happened with you right before you came into the program?
So before I joined the program, I had failed math. Right?
You failed math?
Yeah.
Okay. And how are you feeling about that?
Horrible. I mean, the word horrible. I had never failed a course before. I mean, I had gotten a D before, but I never failed. My parents are big math people, so they've always put a big emphasis on doing math, but I'm not much of a math student, right? And, and that's something, it was hard, but something I learned in the program was, I'm not a math student. So what, right? I remember the analogy used was, if you can't shoot a basketball, you can't shoot a basketball, right? Doesn't mean your life, so it doesn't mean you're not any good, right? It's just
or that you're not smart enough to do it.
Not smart enough, not skilled, not talented, not worthy enough, It's just something, we all have our skills, we all have our weaknesses, right? And, that's just something I kind of, I learned to look at more. Not look at my weakness, look at my strength, and then work on those. I found by doing that, my results were just, it was amazing, right? It really allowed me to just be a better version of me.
And it's not like you said, well, math isn't my thing, so screw school.
Yeah.
In fact, you became a straight A student by thinking about it differently.
Yeah, like approaching it not like, because, my mentality had changed after I failed math. I just become like, well, I'm clearly, it became like a big thing, like, oh, school's not my thing, right? I'm not meant to go to school. School's bad, And I guess that's sort of like a defensive mechanism, right?
Sure.
It's a mental thing, right? But the real issue was that I was blaming an institution that I could excel at, that had so many options in it on one thing, right? And you don't want to do that in life, right? You don't want to kind of pick one thing out of so many things and just be like, that's bad, so therefore I'm bad at everything, right? And that's something I kind of picked up in the program, and I just sort of distanced myself from that.
And we do that all the time, right? We pick that thing like failing
Absolutely.
math or that thing that's not working out, and
you always reflect on
right? Like that defines me.
Versus the good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not athletic enough, whatever it is. And meanwhile, you took that. I remember you said you didn't think you were smart enough, and then you became a straight A student. You also didn't think you wanted to go to university because you didn't think that was an option for you.
Absolutely.
And what's happened since then?
I'm clear. I am going to university, right? I'm going to the U of T. For a long time I was like, I'm not meant to go to university. I won't have the marks to get in. I have, all these things, like putting myself down, right? But, after getting into the program, I started to think about it, and I realized, we worked on that too, right? That's something we focused on. And I realized, like, that's nonsense, right? I can be who I want to be, right? I'm good at things. Why don't I focus on those things? University has so many programs, so many options. So, and I did that, and here I am, right? I got in to the program I was looking into getting into. I was successful at that. The university I want to get to. So yeah, definitely it all worked out, right?
Nice. And how many schools did you get into?
I got into a total of 7 schools.
You got into 7 schools. So you didn't think you were going to ever go to university. You were a C student. You just failed math.
Yeah.
You didn't think you had any potential.
Absolutely.
You became a straight A student who got into 7 universities and is now going to U of T in the fall.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
That's amazing. Yeah.